Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Afternoon. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. Good. I'm just hoping more people join, otherwise it's just you and me. You'll have to answer all the questions.
Yeah.
We'll just give them another minute or two.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to share my screen. Can you just thumbs up if you can see it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right. Good. Thank you. Cool.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi, how you doing?
All good. Hi, John
Good.
Carroll. Hi, Harsh. Nice to meet you.
I'll turn. I've just got Dave Dobbin in the background. He's just with his band here, so playing around. So.
Yeah. Sure.
Are you still at work, Mohammed?
No, I finished work, but this is my work setup from home.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
You've got a electricity tower coming out of your head.
Yes, I work in Transpower, and we
Yeah.
own and operate those things behind me.
Yeah. I used to work at Meridian Energy for many years.
Oh, did
And
you?
as a funny game, people used to travel around the country. And one of the funny games that we used to have was the Tower of the Month. So if you went out, you had to take photos of the towers, and we would vote on which one was the most spectacular for that month. So
Oh, awesome. That's creative.
kind of a stupid game, but it kept us amused. So I do look like a good electricity tower.
Yeah. I don't know.
Welcome. Yeah, welcome,
Hello.
Eleanor. Hi. So hopefully you can see my screen. I've got some PowerPoint slides. I'm going to run through those. So tēnā koutou katoa, welcome. So my name's Carol Speirs, as advertised. I have been a project manager for quite a while. Been a member of PMI for 28 years. Long time. Did my PMP back in the 90s when it was all just paper and pen stuff. So it was quite a while ago, but loved having my PMP. It's really helped me get jobs. So let me tell you a little bit about PMINZ. So, of course, we are part of the global network, so lots on the go to talk about. So feel free to ask me anything towards the end, and hopefully I can answer. Been around a long time, still don't know everything. So let's get on. So what do we do here? How you fit in, upcoming events, how you can get involved, that type of thing. So and a little bit of our numbers and stuff like that. So that's kind of my plan. So we should have you out the door, back to get your dinner about 7 o'clock or so. That's my plan. All right. So what you can see here on the screen, sorry, it's quite a busy screen. You're not expected to memorize all this. This is what they call PMI Next, which is kind of this global strategy. So PMI, of course, one of their strap lines, if you call it that, is we maximize project success to elevate our world. So it's kind of that overall statement about what we're trying to do as project managers. And you can see the strategy, where and how and who and all that sort of stuff. So as New Zealand, of course, we're part of the global team. So we must kind of fall into the line and make sure that we're kind of following along. So some things we do better than others. Some things we need to kind of start working on. For example, we don't have a big student program. So we do want to improve our workings with the university and the students and the upcoming grads and things like that. So it's one area we haven't really concentrated on. So as president this year, hopefully me and the board are going to, start working on that. So, but a lot of it, of course, is, being worked on now anyway, which is great. So we do cover off quite a lot of areas on here. So down the bottom there, we have our culture. So how we behave, make it easy, aim higher, be welcoming, embrace curiosity, and together we can. So we always try and live that. Doesn't matter whether we're working with each other or working on our projects. So it's kind of our reason for being, our values, if you think of it that way. So that's kind of how we operate. Yeah, as I say, not expecting you to memorize all that. It's just as board, of course, we need to kind of hook into that and use it on a regular basis. So our purpose, of course, we want to have a really good community. We want to connect with like-minded peers. I think as project managers, we often struggle, if we're in a smaller company, we often struggle to meet others of our style and our ilk. I think Transpower, I was just talking to Mohammed about Transpower, that's quite a big organisation, so they do have quite a number of project managers, so it's good to have that community. But for others of us, we don't have the community, so that's what we're trying to do here at PMINZ. And of course, as we know, we're always change makers, right? So turning ideas into action. So just making sure that everything we do adds value and gets the job done. So I think as project managers, it's kind of a reason for being, isn't it? So back to New Zealand situation now. So we, the board meet obviously on a regular basis, monthly. We do have a strategy day that's coming up in October this year. We had our previous one October last year. And we really just make sure that we're living what we think, who we are. So leading professional project management organisation, offering exceptional value to members and partners. So that's kind of my job, to make sure that all members know what the value is of being a member. So some of you will be in major cities and others will be in regions. So I want to make sure that everyone has opportunities to attend and learn and grow and network and be with people as well. So, it's not just about the big cities, it's about the whole of New Zealand. We're a long, skinny country, right? So need to make sure that everyone can get involved as much as possible. So that's kind of the idea there. And as a board, we kind of come up with some of our core values sitting under the PMI ones. We want to have fun, obviously thinking about solutions, which I think most of us do on a day-to-day basis anyway. We're all very solution focused. Having empathy, of course, vision for the future, and just keeping an eye on the main prize there, about growing membership and making sure that everyone feels as if they're they've joined for a reason, and hopefully we can meet the needs of everyone. So we're sitting just under 2,500 members. So, yeah, it's a trick trying to keep them all, everyone happy. But it's kind of my job. All right. So for our New Zealand goals, this is kind of what we're aiming at, a very ambitious target of trying to get to 3,000 members. I think it's, I help out in other various charities and organisations. I think most of you will know that most sort of clubs and societies are struggling to get members. Actually, there's sort of, some of them are closing and some of them have been around for a long, long time, but are struggling to get people to join. We're actually on the opposite side of that. So we've got a growing membership, which is super exciting. So we've had some great growth. And I think people are looking for connections. They're looking for that networking. They're looking for mentoring, maybe, all of those types of things. So looking to discuss projects and things that are going wrong. So I think it is about that membership, coming back together, after the COVID years. We do want to establish some relationships with some of the major entities. I'll come to that in a little minute. But as I said, the universities, we haven't done a lot with them in the past, but I think there's a whole pipeline of young folks that we might want to attract into the PM world. So again, kind of my job to make that happen. Finance with any sort of charity, any not-for-profit, of course, we need to keep an eye on that prize in terms of making sure we're managing our money well. We're not underspending or overspending. The money that you pay to America actually bounces back to us. Not all of it, unfortunately. That'd be nice. But it does bounce back. So we do get a fee coming in from America on a quarterly basis. So a portion of your fees comes back to us, and we can spend that, holding events and shouting a beer every now and again, and some nice nibbles and things like that at events. So the events that you attend will be free, but if you're not a member, we will charge you. So that's kind of how that works. So it is a benefit to join. And of course, we have a huge, I think we have around, I'm going to say around 40 volunteers. And what they do is they run those branch events. They're fabulous people. They get speakers in. We have a huge conference team. We have a team looking after the elections. We have a team looking after the awards. We have teams looking after the website, all these sorts of volunteers, and me, volunteer, don't get paid. Wish I was. But we spend our time because we're passionate, right? We want to give back. We think, I've been in this, as I say, quite a long time. Time for me to give back to my community and share the love, I suppose you could say. So those are kind of our goals. Of course, we have some KPIs around that as well. And so we're tracking that as well. So that's kind of our goals. As you can see, the goals are due to be refreshed at the end of this year. I can't imagine that we're going to do anything hugely different. We might put more in there about the student clubs and SIGs, but I think we're still targeting growth and maintaining financial stability, things like that. So maybe a little tweak, but nothing major. I can't imagine that we're going to go into anything different there. So let me know if you think we should. All right. So a little bit about the nuts and bolts. So yeah, we are all over the country. Yay for us. We have some wonderful branch folks running our branches. So we're a little bit unusual in the PMI world. There's not many of us with our structure. And what I mean by that is, say, for example, you travel to Australia and you want to go to a PMI meeting there, you would go to the chapter called Sydney or the chapter Melbourne or the chapter Brisbane. But we're just the New Zealand chapter and we have branches. So we don't have separate city chapters. We just have the one chapter with several branches. So I think that's kind of the way of the world that PMI is going. They would prefer to have one country with several branches. So we are a little bit unusual in that. We do have the Palmerston North or the Manawatu branch. We haven't got a lead at that moment, hint, hint, hint. So if you're thinking need to help out, looking for somebody for that one. But yeah, very active in Auckland, of course, Wellington, Christchurch, lots on the go there. We do expect those bigger ones to have monthly events. And the regionals will typically have at least one per quarter, if not more. So they'll have events, and usually we're encouraging folks to do the in-person because I think there's value in pressing the flesh and having a beer and talking to people. But we do run them as hybrid, meaning that if you're in Wellington and you think, oh, something in Auckland I want to go to, you can just dial in and do the virtual thing. So we're keen for people to take advantage of some really great speakers. So yeah, but the focus is on the networking and getting to know people via the face to face. Now, you might have heard me mention SIGs, S-I-G-S, so SIGs, special interest groups. So again, if you think, oh, I'm in construction, I really want to hang out with my construction mates and find out what's going on, then you could join that special interest group and find out all the latest information on that. So yeah, feel free to reach out to me or to any of the others that are on the board that will help you connect up with any of those SIGs. So they will have events from time to time. Most of those events from SIGs are online. Again, they want to share the love all throughout the country. And on occasions, they'll have face-to-face ones, but mainly for 90% of it, they're pretty much online. So lots of interesting topics and speakers. So, if you've got an industry-specific interest, then hopefully we can kind of meet that as well. Sustainability and AI, of course, coming up as major topics. So, we're doing a lot on the AI front, particularly at the conference coming up. But we've got the Sustainability SIG well underway. As I mentioned, we've got subcommittees and volunteers running things like the elections, the awards and the conference. And we have a lot of other volunteers helping out on sort of one-off jobs and things like that as well. Rather unusually, we actually have 2 paid staff. So again, that's somewhat unusual for a branch of a chapter of our size. But we just found that because we're all volunteers and we've all got day jobs, it's quite hard to manage everything. So we have Sarah and Sharon. Both of these folks work part-time for us, so we employ them part-time. And Sharon, of course, does a lot of the coordination and sorting out the problems, paying the bills and stuff like that. And Sarah, we call her a commercial manager. Her KPIs are all focused on bringing in revenue for the conference and bringing in revenue to support our activities, sponsorship and things like that. So we run a thing called PMINZ. I'll talk to you about that in a moment. So she is one of the major components of making sure that runs in a cost neutral way. So paying for things in terms of the sponsorship. So we're really lucky to have Sarah. She's got lots of fingers and pies, so knows lots of people to hit them up for money. Yay, love that. Yeah, so we report into the Asia Pacific. It's called the R10 region, so we're part of that group. We often hook up with Australian counterparts to have meetings with them, and then the wider Asia community, so Hong Kong, Singapore, and all that sort of stuff. So Indonesia, lots of different chapters get together on a regular basis, usually online, of course, to have a meet and catch up and share stories and find out what good practice is. So, and then of course we all feed up into the American home base, if you think of it that way. So the home base was Philadelphia. I think they've just released, they're all working from home now after the COVID years. I think they felt they didn't need a building. So, but it was based majorly in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Yeah, founded in New Zealand, 1994. There was quite a cohort of people here in Wellington, actually. I'm based in Wellington. Quite a cohort of people that thought, yeah, this is a good thing. We want to get some smarts on the go. We want to have some qualifications for project managers. So kicked off in 94. So we've been going over 30 years. Coming up, 30 years. Yeah, we've had our 30th anniversary. So yeah, so it's been around for quite some time. Yeah, so that's how we work together. From time to time, we meet up. The presidents meet up once a year for what we call the R10 meeting, and we have another thing called the LIM, LIM. That's the Leadership Institute meeting. So again, we can't all go to it because we can't afford it. This year it's in Seoul, which is lovely, but boy, expensive to get there. So we have to use our money very wisely about who goes where. So we don't like to fly everywhere, of course. The major American conference this year is going to be in Detroit. So if you ever do get to travel to any of these big countries, particularly America, of course, if you can fit it in around a business trip, try and go to one of the major PMI global conferences. They are amazing. The speakers are absolutely stunning. So if you can, fit that in around something else. It ain't cheap, but it's really worthwhile if you can, spend a few days hanging out with other project managers. Absolutely stunning, the speakers that they have there. They can afford it, of course, and they've got access to international funds, so yay for them. Okay, so what do we do in New Zealand? So basically we have obviously the certifications. So we use a system called the ATPs. You might have heard of that before. Authorized training providers. So let's say, for example, you want to do your PMP, or you want to do your CAPM, or you want to do one of the risk ones, or whatever, then you would contact the authorized training providers, and they would put you in the right place in terms of the training that you need and the qualifications pathway, and they would guide you through that. So we get a small cut, not a massive amount, a small cut for you attending if you're a member, and they reimburse us for that. So basically they run the whole training thing. So we don't do training. We're not experts in that. And we outsource that to our ATPs, as I said. So there's a number around the country. I think we've got about 5 or 6 on the go. They're on the website there. So contact any of those. Some will be in person. The trainings are in person or online, or a bit of a hybrid. So if that's your thing, do look into that. And they will also help you make sure that you're, say, for example, if you're doing PMP, that your CV is on the money in terms of getting that approved. Lots of different e-learning courses and things like that. So those are available on the American website, so PMI.org. You can look at those at any time if they're free, and lots of things. They've just updated some of the latest ones, so lots of things on the go. They're all free. I've already talked about the SIG, so I won't talk about that. This events and conferences, yeah, we've got the Auckland conference this year. Really looking forward to that. We've got some fabulous speakers. It's 2 days. I'll talk about it a little bit more in a moment. There's discounted tickets on now, so that's cool if you want to go to that. Again, you'll meet up with like-minded individuals. You'll get to hear some fabulous speakers, and it's really worthwhile going. But I have to say that because I'm going to be there anyway. So come and say hi. And thought leadership, yeah, so from time to time you'll see some articles up on LinkedIn, and so we're trying to, again, just share our knowledge and experiences around. We had one of our board members, Warren, do a little presentation the other day about projects that had gone wrong, so that was really interesting, and he was sharing his insights. So again, you'll hear some really, and I'm always very nosy about what's going on in New Zealand with projects, because often you hear about the good news stories, right? You don't hear so much. Everyone's kind of burying it under the carpet about projects that have gone wrong. So it was great that Warren was able to share some of those, gory details and insights. So I always think you learn quite a lot from that maybe it's just me, I'm just nosy, who knows, but I think it's really good to kind of get the good news and the bad news stories. Just having a look at some of the chat there. Yeah, we've got some PMP stuff. Yep. Oh, cost estimation. Yeah, there's a good one. Yeah, excellent. Thank you. Yeah, and discounted prices. Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay, great. All right. So that's now the pictures on the bottom of this screen. They relate to a thing called PMDOS, PMDOS. So that stands for Project Management Day of Service. And this is where we get together. So us as project managers, we give our time for free, and we enroll a number of charities, and they come to us and say, hey, we've got a strategy, it's all good, we don't know how to implement it. And so us as project managers act as consultants and say, hey, well, you want to look at this method of planning, or you want to do this with your estimating, and you want to set up a stakeholder register, all those types of things. So we would give our time for free. And the charities are always very grateful. It's a great day, and you really learn some of the information about their charities and what they're struggling with. So we do charge them for that, and really just to cover our costs in terms of the food and the venue. But they get an enormous amount out of it in terms of, getting some free help from professionals like us. And I think what I enjoy about that is you get to know, I'm in the corporate world, right? So I know all the corporates, blah, blah, whatever, but I never get to see I worked with a drug and alcohol group, and I've never had that exposure. So I thought that was really, really interesting, this challenge that they've got. So you learn something new. Yeah, so these are PMDOS photos. These are from the Christchurch one. So we did a bit of analysis from last year's conference, 2025, and this is where the folks are coming from. So they're coming from consulting world, obviously energy, construction, all that sort of stuff. You can see those are the top two groups there, and the IT folks are coming in, security, those types of things. So lots of folks coming from lots of different regions. So if you think you're not sure whether you want to come to the conference because you might not meet anyone in your industry, hopefully you can find somebody in there that's going to meet your needs as well, so you can chat to colleagues. All right, so where did they come from? So again, this says PJ for someone. It's supposed to say PM, Principal Project Manager, Senior Project Manager, or Project Manager. So that's the majority, of course. We do have some other weird and wonderful people joining us. The Manager of Payroll and Payroll Systems and Accounts came, so who knows? Maybe they want to be project managers. Maybe they're aspiring to be like us. Who knows? But you can see there are a whole range of folks coming in. And it's good to see project coordinators, for example, attending as well the conference. So, they can step up in their role if they ever wanted to do that. So that was quite good analysis to do. All right, so how to fit in. So, come along to the meetings, join in events and things like that. Stay connected with us. Get involved in the SIGs if that's your thing. One of the best things to do there is to actually use, I think I've got it here. Yeah, this one here, Humanitics. So we use a ticketing system called Humanitics. Now on our website, you can see, I think at the moment we've got about 13 different events on the go. Some of them are out to later in the year. But if you think, oh gosh, I really want to kind of hook into that, click on the button and it will take you through to Humanitics. So book on there, and there's a little button at the bottom that says keep me informed, so it can shoot those notifications about events straight to your inbox, so you don't even have to look at the website. So that's what I do, and it might pop through once or twice a week, and you'll think, oh, that's something, a new topic, so you don't even have to go and look at the website. So I'll leave that up on the screen if you want to scan that with your phone. There's a QR code there. But that's the best way to do it. And as you can see, we've got a huge range of things. So we've got the usual talking heads thing, but we've also got a site visit on the go at Taupo. So a fabulous visit down to the geothermal station. So shame I can't go. I'd love to know more about that. But lots of talking, lunch and learn. Some at lunchtime, some in the evening. So again, a whole range. We're trying to cover all bases as to who needs what. So make sure you can hook in with that. And if you've got suggestions for speakers, I'd love to hear about them. And if you think somebody's got some really good stories to tell, we're very keen to have that as well. Okay, so conference. Sarah told me I must plug the conference so everyone knows about it. So this is me doing what I'm told. So yeah, Auckland, 26, 27 May, 2-dayer. In the evening of the 26th, we will have our awards ceremony. So we have some 6 awards on the go at the moment. We've got submissions closing off on the 15th on that. So if you've got an award you think you want to apply for, we're happy to take that until the 15th. So lots on the go, lots of really good keynote speakers. We've got a PMI person coming over from America, so that's pretty exciting. And as I say, the tickets are on sale, so there's a discounted, what they call a super saver rate on at the moment. So if that doesn't convince you, I'm not sure what will. It's a good time. And also, a bit of feedback from last year. There was no band, no dancing. So see, people said, Carol, we need to dance. Okay, so we've got a band this year. So if you're coming along, bring your dancing shoes. So we'll have a boogie on the night. So that's the plan. So stay up late and yeah, have a good time. That's my plan. All right. So that's coming up soon. Just roughly, here's some numbers. So I just pulled this today. So 2,400. As I say, hoping to work through to 3,000. But you know, we'll just work through that and just make sure that we can and attract new members as we go. So we use a database called ThoughtSpot that pulls all this data for us. So you can see slightly down on some of these things. So obviously we're working to improve that as well. But you can see a massive upswing over the last sort of 12 to 18 months. So yay for us. Okay, and that's it from me. So I'm going to do the AMA Ask Me Anything, and more than happy to take any questions, and hopefully I can answer them. Saeed, welcome. Hello. Good to see you. How are you doing?
So thank you so much for so wonderful presentation. My name is Syed Iqbal, and I'm ATP, Authorized Training Partner here. Basically, I work from overseas Pakistan and Australia. We have branches, but now I'm a new member here in New Zealand. So we provide trainings on discounted prices for new member. And Carol, the one thing that I contacted this construction special group, but they didn't reply me. So how to follow up with them?
All right, let me check on that, see what's happening. Thank you, Saeed. I will get them to get back to you.
Yeah, because I was in contact with the American and the other people, and because I'm also PMI CP as well, construction professional.
Yep.
So we were only 5 people. Like last year, we were only 5 in New Zealand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get Sylvia McLaren from that group to contact you to find out what's happening on that. So yeah, I'll make sure she replies to you. Thanks, Saeed. Thank you. Cool. So I understand you're all new members. Has anyone been to one of the branch events yet? Have you turned up in person? Yay! Well done. You get the pat on the back. Very good. Yeah.
So we
fantastic.
visited Ormiston College last week. Last week, yeah.
Yeah, good. Yeah, really good project. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, I think the site visits are you just learn so much, don't you? And as I'm really nosy, I'd love to know what's going on and who's doing what and how it all works. So yeah, cool. Okay, well, hopefully you've got my email address. If you think of another question when you're having your coffee or your tea or whatever, shoot it through. More than happy to answer the questions. And yeah, hopefully I can see you at the conference, if not at one of the events or online. So hey, thanks for your time. Thanks for coming along and saying hi. And yeah, it's good to meet you all.
Just one last thing for these new member. If you allow me. So in the chat, I have shared my contact number, and if you are interested in any of the training, PMI camp, and any, so you can contact me. My email address and my phone number are there in the chat. Yeah. So.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a good night, everyone. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Likewise.
Bye.